used to try to you calling. I pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? In the center of the roof gone.
Hey y'all, I'm back. I got my Starbucks and I was eating, and I'm done eating. I'm just drinking my little decaf coffee. Damn, I'm still 22 minutes from my appointment. Jesus Christ. One thing you're gonna do in the DMV is be driving. Driving is Daisy. Stay driving. I'm always driving. If y'all wonder, like, why she always in the car? Because I live far and I drive a lot, okay? I live far, I drive a lot. And everything that I be wanting to do is not in my neck of the woods. Nail salon is in Virginia. I live in Maryland. So, you know, it is what it is. But I wanted to come on here and just have a little quick call chat about toxic family. Now, disclaimer, I'm probably gonna say some things in this video that if like family members see it, they're gonna be like, oh damn, she said that or she said that. Yeah, I did, and I don't care. Get off my video. It's like, but anyway, yeah, I want to talk about toxic families because I feel like a lot of people do not talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it today because I feel like I'm in this place where in the past couple years I prioritize the family that's within my home and my inner family. So that's like my aunt, my grandfather, who's like my father. But like, I'm gonna just say those two. And I have siblings that I have relationships with. I'm not gonna say their names. They know who they are. But these are on my dad's side, not on my mom's side. But yeah, like when it comes to toxic family, my upbringing is not a traditional upbringing. Like when I was born, my mother had me when she was, I think, 15 or 16. I'm not sure, but she had me when she was like 15 or 16. No, she probably had me when she was maybe about to turn 16 or about to turn 15. I can't remember which one. But either way, when I was born, I was probably with her for a short amount of time, and then I lived with my aunt, my great aunt. And from the age of like being a baby to maybe like 9 or 10-ish, I lived with my aunt and my cousins, and I loved it because, like, you know, we had a big family, all the kids was there, like we had a great old time. And so, ooh, what's that in the street? So we had a good old time, you know, just being with family. And may God rest her soul, my aunt passed away when I was 9 or 10 years old, and you know, all my cousins who live with yeah, you gotta be careful, love. Be careful. My great aunt had passed away. And all the kids that lived with her, we had to go live with our mom. We couldn't, you know, live with our aunt no more because she passed away. So when I moved with my mom, she had a lot of rules, a lot of like, you know, structure, she just had a lot going on with her. And not even in a bad way. It just was very different from living with my aunt. So like, you know, it was kind of like a shock for me. Like I grew up, you know, eating certain things, doing certain things. And then I moved with my mom and like, oh, I don't do this. I can't do that. I gotta do this, blah, blah, blah. So imagine you being like 9 and 10 years old and you like, oh, I lost my great aunt, you know, can't live with her no more. I live with my mom. And like at this point, like I would only see my mom on like the weekends, I think like holidays and stuff like that. Like she wasn't very, I don't remember her much. Like I remember her coming over and like putting really cute clothes on me, taking me to take pictures and like, you know, coming over for like highlights. But like it gave a baby daddy. It gave a baby daddy. It didn't give, you know, like a mom, you know, sharing custody. Gave a baby daddy, like coming over when it was convenient for them. That's what it gave. So to make us, you know, to move things along, you know, move with her, you know, things was different. You know, we had a lot of roadblocks and like obstacles to get over with our relationship. And fast forward to being an adult, you know, I think at some point acknowledged like, you know, she wasn't the best mom, you know, blase or whatever. She acknowledged those things, and like, you know, we've had moments of like talking, you know, she's also gone through like her struggles and things she's had going on, or whatever. I'm not gonna touch on that too much, but she's had, you know, things going on which, you know, probably, you know, hindered our relationship, all the things. But fast forward to now, like, you know, me and my mom are not on, you know, speaking terms because of an incident or because of, you know, the situation that I'll probably touch on in another video. But I think a conversation needs to be had. But I'm the type of person that like, if you want to talk to me, you want to talk to me. If you want to address something, we want to address it, and you want to be direct about it. All that, you know, subliminal stuff or like side conversations and sidebars and like sending messages and not saying nothing. I don't respond well to stuff like that. And I feel like if you want to address me about anything, you're going to address me directly. So, you know, a situation that took place, and my mom had sent me something, and like with no context, she just sent me, some messages, like no context, no nothing. And mind you, prior to this, we had already been not talking, but it wasn't even nothing that happened for us not to be talking. Just life happened. I got my divorce. Life happened. Like we just, didn't talk. And so I wasn't beefing her or anything like that. But I was thinking that, like, because my sister was around during some of my separation or divorce, I was thinking that, like, oh, she probably told mom. So mom know that I got divorced, or I'm getting divorced, is she gonna reach out? And she claims to not know that I was getting divorced. She claims to not know. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. But I don't know. I think she knew, but she told me she didn't know. Anyway, let me stop this. All right, so what do I pick up on the rest of the story? So my mom claimed to not know that I was getting divorced. She claimed not know anything that I had going on, and like, didn't reach out or anything like that. So she reached out, we reconnected, and then she had like sent me a message, with no context, and I just ignored it, because if you want to address me about something, you want to address me. But that's how we're gonna do. You want to address me directly. You're not gonna send me something and like, oh, what you want me to do with this? I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and I stand 10 toes down on what I said. So I don't know. She was trying to intimidate me by sending the messages to me. I don't know. Anyway, moving forward, I chose to not respond, and moving forward, I happened to look and see that like she unfollowed me on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, okay, like girl, I don't even be on Facebook like that, but okay. And then I'm on my TikTok, and I see her husband in my views, and I'm like, why is your husband? Why are you here? You don't even live in this country. Why are you here? Unless like she was looking at my stuff from his page, but I don't know, because I didn't even have his number in my phone, I don't think. But like, how you see like suggest people, and like I never clicked on his profile, never looked at his page, but I saw him in my views. So I'm thinking like maybe that was her looking to see what I post or whatever. But nonetheless, that right then is an example of like toxic, that I'm like, no thank you. Like I don't want no part of that, and I don't want that around my kids, and I don't want that around my aura and what I'm trying to build. No, I don't want that. So if I have to put you on ice, I'm gonna put you on ice until you figure out what you're trying to do. Now let's go back a little bit to when I moved my mom. So I moved my mom, and I met my father for the first time when I was 12 years old. So, remember my mom and my dad. So I didn't meet my dad, so I was 12 years old. His story's his story. I ain't gonna touch too much of his story. So I met him when I was 12, and then I met all the kids he had. To date, he probably got 8 children by different women or whatever. And I met all of them. And I was like, that was something new for me, because from birth to 9, I had like no father figure. I had like, guys that probably were like figures, or like, I don't know, like men that probably helped out or whatever, but like I didn't have like nobody as like a father figure. My mom had me believe that, some particular guy was my father the whole time. It wasn't. But when my dad actually got out of jail, that's when like I met him, and like, oh, that's your dad, whatever. I'm like, okay. So met my sisters and my brother on my dad's side, and I was so happy to be like, oh, I got siblings, I got family, like, was so excited. And like, even when I met them, like my life was so different. Like my life was so different when I met them. They were doing things that I wasn't doing. They dressed certainly that I wasn't dressing. They ate things that I didn't eat. I was just a whole different child, you know what I'm saying? So, they seemed to have welcomed me in, and especially my godmother, and especially my stepmother, like she seemed to have like welcomed me in, during the time that like I met them, and like whenever I would come over, she would, go to the store and get certain things to accommodate me while I was there. So I can appreciate, her, love her to this day. But the sister that I met, like, I thought we had a good relationship. Like, they probably used to tease me a lot, because like at the time I think my mom was like Muslim, and like I would have to cover my hair and do all these things. Like I had to cover my hair, then eat pork, all the things. So like they like, who is this Muslim little girl? Like she coming here, we gotta go to the store for her. She gotta cover her hair, she gotta wear that. So like I was new to them, they was new to me. Like I ain't never, had to be cool with no siblings. I never had to meet no siblings or anything like that. So I was like, I was new to them. But nonetheless, like I felt like, okay, they giving me a chance, you know what I'm saying? They invite me into, their dynamics. Mind you, when I met my siblings, all of them already knew each other. They already probably knew each other and already had a bond. And I think there was maybe my sister that's, I think, right under me, maybe. No. She's like a couple sisters down. She wasn't in the picture. I didn't end up meeting her till later. But to make a long story short, we're going to quick in the story. Those same sisters, I'm not going to say their names. If you know. To this day, I have no relationship with them. And I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's envy. I don't know, misery. I don't know what it is. But like, I found myself, like, for several years, trying to force a relationship with them. So like, and I'm thinking like, man, a sister, you're supportive, you're helping them out, you're sending them money, you're letting them use your car, you're letting them stay the night, you're doing things that like family would do. And so I would be doing all of that thinking like, oh, like, things are good. Like, we can work through anything. Like, any issue that we have, we can work through anything. And we ended up like finding out that like my dad had another child. And, me and one of my sisters, we ended up meeting her. And like, a lot of people think that like she reminds them of me when I was younger. Very pretty, super stylish, like love her down. We ended up meeting her or whatever, and like I gravitated toward her, love her energy, and like she's similar to me. She reminds me like the younger me. And I'm assuming like my other sisters didn't like that I like got so close with her. And they cut me off for getting close with our little sister. And it's like, how are you mad that I got close with our sister? We share the same blood because we got the same dad. And so those sisters on my dad's side cut me off or stopped speaking to me because, you know, oh, I got cool with her or had a relationship with her and they wasn't in on it, you know. That's what I mean when I say toxic. Like, y'all wasn't cool or involved with her, but like you getting mad because like I'm cool with her and I'm being involved in things or invited to things and y'all not. It was so weird, but a conversation never really happened. I think what happened was she had invited me to her baby shower, and of course I was there. Why not? I'm gonna show support. That's my little sister. And one of my sisters texted and was like, "Oh, are you at such and such baby shower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And then ain't never say nothing. And mind you, my nieces, I don't know how old my niece is to this day, but like that was so many years ago. And you mean to tell me y'all stopped talking to me because I went to our sister's baby shower? So now we're at the toxic mom. Not even a toxic mom. Let me take that back. Now we're showing the dynamics of like the toxic family members, because you gotta understand that like a lot of the battles that people are fighting, they're fighting them with themselves. And a lot of people try to like put it on you, like, oh this, oh that. Like, no, you're not gonna put that on me. If you got a problem with anything that's going on, like you need to go to that person and communicate what that issue is. Address the elephant in the room. One thing I'm gonna do is address the elephant in the room. I don't like to be in uncomfortable spaces. I don't like to not have clarity. So I'm gonna address some stuff that seems awkward or that seems weird. And I feel like my sisters, if you felt the way that I was at the baby shower, you had my number. My number been the same for quite some time, that like y'all could have reached out and like, hey, look what's going on, what happened, sometimes. But like I feel like they didn't even care to have a relationship with me or even my daughter at the time. That like they just chose to just let it ride. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing, she ain't gonna say nothing. Oh, okay, life goes on. I'm gonna move on and keep doing what I'm doing. But like being mad at me for attending one of our family members' events is crazy work to me. And to this day, like I'm good on my dad's side of the family. Like, I'm good on them just because I'm trying to protect my peace. And like y'all know my number. Y'all know probably half y'all know where I live at. If you ever want to pull up or call or text, you can do that. And y'all haven't done that, so that just lets me know y'all good with it being the way it is, and so am I. I'm just saying, but you know, sometimes you gotta put family on ice because people, I don't know, the energy be too weird for me, and I'm just like, I'm good on y'all. Like I'm good on y'all. And especially if like being involved with y'all don't affect my day to day or like any support that I don't going on with my children. I'm not fazed by not speaking to y'all. I'm not fazed by any of that. Oh, my nails have just text me talking about how long. So I'm pulling up. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm not fazed. Like, well, if I talk to you or I don't talk to you, my kids will still eat. I'm gonna still show up to my job. I'm gonna still have a job. I'm gonna still have money put in my savings. I'm gonna still take a trip, get my passport stamped, all the things. So talking to y'all don't do nothing. It don't do nothing for me. You know, like I'm not losing no sleep. I'm not losing no weight. You know, the ass is still popping. So like I'm not feeling no type of way about speaking to none of y'all. I'm not losing no sleep over no toxic relationship, whether it be mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, uncle. I don't care. One thing I'm not gonna do is cry over no spilled milk. And I believe relationships go both ways. You know, if you want to have a relationship with me, you know my number, reach out. If you don't want to have a relationship with me, I'll know that, because your option will show that. But I'm not gonna you know, dumb myself down or come down to your level to meet your dysfunction. I'm not doing that. And I think that's what some family members want you to do, like meet them where they at in their dysfunction. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But they say, get somebody else to do it. I ain't doing that. Alright, y'all, I'm about to go in here and get these nails done. Be right back.
In the city, maybe you should try to get caught. I pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot, too solid. Are you with me? In the fan with the roof gone.